Hey, Facebook and YouTube family. This is another Deafology Presents. As you can see, we are in the car, me and my daughter Leah. So, this is Leah's experience. We can't do signing at the same time, so I'm going to try to hold both cameras while she signs her experience. Let me tell you a little rundown of what's going on. Hello, if you're just coming in. This is what happened last week. I took my daughter to the audiologist, and the audiologist is the same one that tested my son, and we had issues with her. And she did something that upset my daughter, and I had to push my daughter out of her comfort zone in order for her to advocate for herself. It's good that you have parents that advocates for their children, but you need to promote your children to be able to advocate for themselves how they feel, because sometimes the doctors or professionals don't really get it unless it comes out of the child's mouth. So I am going to turn it over so that Leah can tell you what went on. This is going to be a very short live. Hold on, guys. I'm going to flip that around like so.
Okay, so like my mom said, we went to the audiologist appointment that day, and I got upset because I keep on questioning myself and figuring out like why is she like retesting me, and like why is she like telling me the same words over and over again and over again, and then like be out of practice saying like cowboy, hot dog, like these are the words I know and they're old, and yes, I'm gonna remember them. And I was like, okay, I kept saying the words like I didn't know like what I did wrong. So she came in again, like I think this is the fourth time she went in with the booth, and we had to figure out like I had to figure out, and the interpreter had to figure out like why is she keep on doing it, and like the interpreter, she wouldn't let the interpreter like come into the room and like say what she needs to say. So that's why I got confused at first. And then like when the interpreter did try to move her, she pushes her back. Like this is her, and this is the interpreter. So she comes in the room. The interpreter tries to walk into the room to talk to inside.
Hi, Lynn.
But then the interpreter, she moves the interpreter out the way. So like I don't know, it's like she bumped her over or something, and then she just stepped back and she looked at her. I was like, okay. And then the interpreter was trying to explain to me after we got out of the booth, and the audiologist was doing my hearing, and me and her were talking, and she said, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No, I really don't understand like why she's like testing me over and over again." She said the words in order, and I was like, I didn't hear that, but all I remember was she was saying like hot dog, airplane, cowboy, like over and over and over. And the interpreter's like, yeah, I heard that too. And then, the interpreter's supposed to like sit in the room with the deaf person. She had to sit outside the room. Like, she thinks that she's gonna give me the answer. Most of the time, the interpreter will help you out, like give you a hint. Like, that's how my interpreter's doing in Kansas. But here, she was trying to give me a hint like last time, but she had she won't let her. So she was trying to tell me through the window, like try to stand like where, cause I'm sitting right here, and there's that glass window that you can see. She tried to move, but then I guess they were talking or whatever. I didn't see the full thing, so she had to move back where she was sitting, and I guess she got mad or whatever, and so that's what happened. And after that, me and the camera were talking still about the two Oliolas, but the first one, she's the mean one. She's rude, like very rude. Like if I try to like explain something to her, like I was crying in the booth, like I didn't want to show it, but I was crying upset, and I felt sweaty, like my heart racing, because I was overwhelmed actually, and I didn't know like what to do, and I was talking to myself like, Lord, what's happening? Like, cause I was talking in my head. I was like, Lord, what's happening? I don't know what's happening. I'm stuck in here. She's texting me over and over again, and I need you to help me. And yeah, that's how I left it as. And then when she came in, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I left you in the booth too long or whatever. I don't remember what she said when we were in the booth. We didn't have the hearing aids on. She took them out while she was fixing them, so I didn't really understand. Like, she was trying to like sign, like do hand gestures. I'm gonna call it that because she didn't really sign. And I was like, I didn't understand her because she was talking. Like, she had her mask down. And I was like, okay. But then the interpreter's sitting right there, like trying to sign, but she didn't sign because she kept on walking in her way. And I'm like, okay. After that, we went back to the room. And I'm done talking to my interpreter. I told her how I felt, and she didn't tell her. She said she would keep it a secret. And so I said, okay. Then we went back to the room. She was asking me how long do I wear my hearing aids, and I didn't answer because I was upset that I might get in trouble because of what she told my brother. Like, he has to wear his hearing aids every day and stuff like that. And I thought that I was gonna get upset because my last audiologist, she said it doesn't matter if I wear my hearing aids or not because I can be who I am, and my hearing aids won't drown. And so when I noticed that day, she sort of made me upset, and I started to cry again. And my mom asked me, what's wrong? Are you okay? And the interpreter didn't say anything because it was a conversation between me and my mom. And I said, yeah, I'm fine. Really, I'm not. So I talked to my mom. Everybody left the room, including the two audiologists. And me and my mom talked, and she said, tell her how you feel. And I said, okay. And then mom gave me a hug. So they walked back into the room. I was talking to Sunny at the same time because of the server. And so I told her how I felt. I told her that I don't know what you think about the deaf culture. Literally, I said this. I don't know what you think about the deaf culture and how you feel about it. And my perspective is I'm deaf, and I choose if I want to wear my hearing aids or not. And I was telling her those things, and I said I'm sorry if I make you upset or whatever. Like I said that, and she looked speechless. And then after that, she sort of looked at my mom because she thought that mom was gonna say something, because mom always says something for me and advocate for me, but mom didn't. Then she said, it's okay if you want to get a different audiologist. I'm okay with that. She said something about, I don't know, liking me staying there with her. I don't know. I was still overwhelmed and crying still. And after that, the interpreter came in and said that because she left to go get papers, she said that she's saying like, I don't know what I done, like I think she hates me or whatever, something like that. That's what the interpreter said. And I was like, yeah, I sort of don't like it here and I don't like her. And so mom said we can get new audiologists, and then the interpreter suggested this one lady that we should try to work with her, and that's what happened.
So how did it make you feel?
It made me feel like some kind of way, like no one should go through the same problem I went through. Like, I don't care if you, hold on, let me back up. I don't care if you're audiologist or not. I think most audiologists should go through training, like sit in a deaf school, full deaf, like, because my audiologist doesn't notice, like, I have to hear bang noises every day and flashing lights and screaming, because she was like, what? Like her face. And I think she thought that I was in a mainstream school. No, I'm not anymore. I'm in a full deaf school. Yes, deaf people scream. Deaf people bang on the table. Deaf people have to get attention. Like, suppose if the teacher wants us to get our attention, he will bang hard on the table, or he will stomp his feet hard and the whole floor vibrates. That's how deaf people get each other's attention. Well, she was like, yeah, I sort of get it. And then I don't think she gets it because, yeah, I mean, I live in a deaf world and I live in a hearing world too. But I'm mostly in the deaf world because I am profoundly deaf, which I found out. But I have to be okay with it, because if I do lose my hearing and my hearing aids doesn't work, my family understands sign language because I can communicate with them easily, but I have to be okay with it. But I also feel like the audiologists should go through training, like really sit in a deaf school and like watch what we do, like get the full, idea, like, and perspective on what we do, like how we talk every day. Like we don't, even though deaf people have a voice, and I think she thinks that like most deaf people can talk verbally like me. No, this is how they sound, like like that. Like that's what they make noise, or they would scream like loudly. And sometimes if they talk, it sounds like they say in a cuss word, but that's not what they really mean. And so they have to say sorry because they don't know what they said. And I get it. I also think that the audiologist should respect the deaf community and the deaf culture, because she was like really rude. Like she didn't like,
Hey, Mary.
like understand me fully. Like she was like talking like looking this way, like, this is how she looked. Blaza, 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 blaza. And I was like, and so the interpreter tried to tell her, like, can you look this way? Cause she was explaining to her, and I said, she was looking, you saw her, like, looking that way, talking. She's like, yeah, I saw her. And I said, why is she being rude, like, not talking to me, face this way? So I can hear her, because, yes, deaf people beat lips. And I do beat lips a lot. I will admit that. But I also have my interpreter, and sometimes I don't hear everything, and I think she assumes that I hear everything. No, I don't hear 100% everything with my hearing aids on or without. So she told her to look this way, and so the interpreter was signing, and I have to go like this. Which, if she allowed the interpreter to stand next to her, I can look at both of them and be like this. Straight, like this. It wouldn't be like this. Which made me mad. Also, another tip. If you're trying to sign to somebody, try to learn ASL, because hand gestures change. They're not the same. Like, I learned some signs and they're different. Like, I learned ketchup is signed ketchup here. I learned that mean is signed mean here. I learned that pop is signed differently. Here is signed pop. I learned that different other signs, like she was trying to sign to me, I'm like, this is my face. Okay? But I just think, like,